Don't say any F's and stuff.
No investigation. This boy has.
There is not really this to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her on the side and where
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not really this to me.
I've done my best. It's hard, that's real tough.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not really this to me. But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys. But I have to.
What's up?
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Welcome.
But I have to put her. But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the lab. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz, and I appreciate you being here. We got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about some deflection, a little bit about last show. Dawn was in chat. All kinds of things, really. Tim Mullen is out for blood. He's pissed. He is absolutely pissed. Tim, I would honestly, Mr. Mullen, if you're watching, and I'm sure that you are, please keep that same energy for Dawn and Candace and those harsh words. Save them up, please. Save all the bravado and pontification and media flexing. Keep it all close. Save it. Just save it for a little while. Because you're just going to need to. Scolding us isn't going to change anything. You might think that it will, but it won't. And going with the oldest trick in the book, threatening channels, saying, you're going to be taken down for this, you're going to be taken down for that. Don't you have better things to do? And I might as well just bring it up, talk about it right away. So that'll be the first thing that we talk about tonight. I got to say, from the last show, I don't think that Don could have came off looking any worse than he did. Under no circumstances. I truly, truly believe that. I think that he came off looking as bad as you possibly can during that show. You have somebody in the chat who has a missing child that Chris and I have both helped with. Me very little, just only bringing it up to somebody that could help. But help nonetheless. But because there's a perceived, oh, well, he doesn't like me. Who gives a damn if anybody likes you? A lot of people don't like me. It's what they can do for you. That's what this is. What can they do? What can your friends that you're hiding behind that I don't acknowledge exist because they don't, I have no dealings with them, nor do I want any, or do I need, I don't need any. I'm talking to you, Candace. That's who we're talking about. But I just don't understand how Dawn Wells could come off looking any worse. Any worse. And it's no longer about, let me ask you questions about Summer, because he's not really, that's not really his thing. What his thing now is discrediting others by what he perceives as their actions that have been done in the past, which he's wrong about most of them anyway. It's just so stupid. And I would be happy, you know, if your friends, if they have any children that are missing and aren't actively looking for their missing child or turning down help or whatever, then, you know, maybe I'd want to talk to them if they wanted to. But don't forget, you're the one that asked for this help. You asked for it. Not me. You. And all I ever hear is, what is this done for Summer? What is this doing for Summer? Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and just do this. So this is on the official Find Summer Wells page. Now, let me just be very clear for you. I'm going to read this, and it's kind of long, which sucks. I mean, he could have made his point rather fast, but he chose not to, just to bore everybody to death. And let's just go ahead over it. So Find Summer. This is from the Wells media manager who quit not that long ago because of a gag order. And I would say to you, Tim, the media manager, tell your clients, because I'm totally cool with this, tell them to stay offline. Just tell them to stay offline. Don't let them come online anymore. That would be the best advice that you could get, instead of taking half a day to chicken peck this letter or whatever it is to the world. You could have done so many other things. Just tell them to stop. Say, please. Beg them. Plead with them. Please don't do this. But you know what? They won't listen to you. You know why? Because they don't want to. They don't want to listen to you. They want to do what they want to do. And is talking on the internet good for them? No. Do I enjoy it? Sure. I find it fascinating, but they don't say anything new anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. It's just the same deflection. Oh my God, look what this person did in 1989. I heard that they took a Percocet. Daughter missing? No? All right. Find Summer Wells, written by Tim the Sandman Mullen. To the YouTubians who have channels that may end up being taken down, if you, plural, even slightly continue to accuse the Wells of He wants me to say it, but I'm not going to say it. Describe the house as a dungeon. I don't know why that. How would that get you in trouble? Maybe there's some dungeon rule on YouTube. Or pulsate out any verbal garbage that abuses the ears and hearts of the Wells children who will hear it, regardlessly how fluently or fluidly it is presented. I think that he meant that for me, like if I can wrap it up in a nice bow for him. At the least, your channel will be shut down. Furthermore, what is done has been reported. You have become digital child. I'm just not going to say it because I've never accused him of that. Maybe I have. I can't remember. You have been the digital woman beaters. It is bad enough that you digitally beat on another man's wife. That's a new one. Or use her for self-glory. But after all, this time to continue to have no respect for the children is intolerable. Let me tell you something, Tim Mullen. I'm going to play you something. I want you to listen and get, if you have a hearing aid, sir, turn it up all the way. I want you to turn it up as loud as you can, lean in as close as you can, and I'm going to illuminate your mind. So just listen. Are you ready?
There's no scraps in my scrapbook.
Not the right one, but I agree. There is no scraps.
In February, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson told News Channel 11 that the Wells family had lawyers and were no longer cooperating. The lead investigator for the case explained how that, as well as how her father's current stint in jail on unrelated charges, hasn't moved this case forward.
The family has attorneys involved, and that is not a direct line of communication.
That tone is quite the change from what it was last year when Summer was first reported missing.
It was pretty good. We would show up about every day, make sure that they were okay, and had a decent line of communication with them.
About a month later, in July, Child Protective Services removed her 3 older brothers from their home and appointed attorneys to the case.
They have been appointed for other instances.
Wait a minute. Appointed for what? Other instances. There's not a thing that I could say here that they may hear that they haven't heard 10, 20 times worse. You know, when you grow up with parents that have issues and have been in trouble with the law, you can't escape it. I can't to this day. There's people that talk about me and say, well, he's just like his dad, even though I'm nothing like him. You tell me. You can't escape it. You can't escape it. I'm going to play that again, and I want you to hear it again. There's more to it.
In February, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson told News Channel 11 that the Wells family had lawyers.
Like, this isn't fairy tale Neverland, my guy. I got to tell you that.
And were no longer cooperating. The lead investigator for the case explained how that, as well as how her father's current stint in jail on unrelated charges, hasn't moved this case forward.
The family has attorneys involved, and that is not a direct line of communication.
That tone is quite the change from what it was last year when Summer was first reported missing.
It was pretty good.
Hold on a second. Of course, he can't help himself because he's such an idiot. Let's see. Where did he go? Is he around anywhere? Where's he at? Where's he at? So, Dawn, I want to ask you a question, Dawn. Just like, you know, I'm a drug dealer and McDonough's put kids in prison, which you have all wrong, by the way, as always. First of all, I don't have a missing kid, and I don't even have a rap sheet. So, you know, what you've admitted to and what I've admitted to are different things. Way two different things. Plus, I've never dealt drugs in my life. Never. Ever. You have continuously and used them, and you've admitted to doing horrible things to young children. I got that one right? Ha 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 ha. LMFAO. Ha 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 ha. LMFAO. Oh, man. That's good. That's good. And your buddy, the one that sold the sells roofies. That's all I know about that guy. That's all I needed to know about the guy. That's why you guys get along so good, probably. Let me keep playing that.
We would.
Oh, Don, if you're here, listen to this too.
I have an update to the investigation.
Don, you'll love this one.
I have an update to the investigation into Summer Wells' disappearance.
The Hawkins County Sheriff says the child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating in this ongoing investigation.
Oh, that stings. That's a rough one.
I have an update to the investigation into Summer Wells' disappearance.
The Hawkins County Sheriff says the child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating in this ongoing investigation.
And is the family still cooperating? I know you said, obviously we know Dawn's there, but like the mother and all those other people, are they still cooperating?
No, they're not cooperating right now.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think so. They're not what? Oh, man. That's the sheriff. That's the guy that, that's the guy that runs, what? What does he run? Oh, the investigation into your missing daughter. How dare us? Okay, you've become digital C abusers. You have become the digital woman beaters. It's bad enough. And by the way, Dawn's done that too, I think. I'm pretty sure a couple times. And let's see. But your opinions or possible theories are vile poison. Is it? Whose effects? I'm not sure if there's an E there or A. I'm not sure. He may be right on that one. I'm not 100% sure. And Dawn, if you want to talk, you can. I prefer that we didn't, but you are welcome to defend yourself, of course. If you want to. It's going to be hard. I know that. I know, he's so mad. Oh, Josh admitted to this. Yeah, what have you admitted to? Yeah, I think it was supposed to be an E, right? It's supposed to be an E. I think it's supposed to be an E. I'm not sure. And I'm losing track of the people that are joining the memberships, but. Oh, by the way, Dawn, while you're here, Candace, if you're listening too, go ask Miss Robin what she really thinks about you guys and what happened. Just feel free. It'll probably come out at some point, I would think. But just go ask her. Just do it. You don't even have to tell me the answer. I've already seen it. I know it. I don't have to see it. I already know it. You are not entitled nor have the credentials to know anything. Tim Mullins, what are your credentials to be a media manager for a family that's missing a child? What are your credentials, sir? Let's compare. What are your credentials? You make calendars for a living and you clean up punch after the little high society meetings where you guys chain smoke cigarettes. And there's no lighter that's even there. I heard that you guys just pass them around and light the end with the other one and then just keep going. You don't even need a lighter. Let's see here. I mean, it's just a joke. You're talking to the wrong people, my friend. I thought it was effects, yeah. So let's go ahead and edit that. And Alicia, hold on here. My alert box is not doing well. Let me see. Don's ulcer, thank you so much. That's from your ulcer, Don. I hope that doesn't get me kicked off of YouTube. Yeah, I'm just wondering what Tim Mullen's credentials are for being a media manager for a missing child. I'm just curious. Because you're probably the worst media manager in the history of media managers. Josh learned a couple big words and now he thinks he's an expert. Pontificating is not that big of a word. Pontification isn't that big of a word. Verboseness. Let me see. What's a good word for Dawn? Less than loquacious. That's how I would pronounce him. Less than loquacious. Poor Don. Seriously, dude. I mean, I know. I'm sorry, dude. You are not entitled to have nor do have the credentials to have anything. Well, Chris McDonough has credentials. You're right. I mean, I don't have credentials but I don't know if you need credentials to have common sense. Like, that's the thing. I don't know if you need credentials for common sense. But Chris, or like I said, Don, while you're here, Chris is still offering help for you if you do need help finding your daughter. If you got it all under control, I understand. He does. I think deep down he does. Like, I think he does like me, but I don't have enough felonies. Thank you so much that was very nice of you. Let's see. Lisa Murphy says, thank you, Josh, for all you're doing. Don, if you were any kind of man, you would want your beautiful daughter brought home and laid to rest. Well, not if it puts him in prison. Not if it gets him in trouble. I do have the credentials to form an opinion. I agree. Thank you for that. So you're not entitled, nor do you have the credentials to have to know anything, but it is your own short-sighted decisions to harm the Wells children with your verbal slanders, defamations. What have I said? I am curious. What have I defamed the Wells about? I'm very curious about that. Morgan and Morgan? What's that? Morgan and Morgan? All right, well, let's do it, man. You know that if you sue people that you have to, like, give discovery and testimony, which is like your biggest fear. So what happens is he comes up on people's panels and he says, I'm an open book, brother. You can ask me anything you want. And then you ask me, well, what's that got to do with anything? So whatever. We know. We know. We know. We know. Let me finish playing this.
Show up about every day, make sure that they were okay, and had a decent line of communication with them.
About a month later, in July, Child Protective Services removed her 3 older brothers from their home and appointed attorneys to the case.
They have been appointed for other instances, but it bleeds over into this investigation as well.
Summer Wells' father, Don, was arrested late last year for driving under the influence and violating probation.
Damn.
Going on.
All while you have a kid missing, too.
Off of that, obviously we know that Don Wells is incarcerated here. Does that play a role at all in this investigation?
No, ma'am.
On February 7th, a judge ordered him to serve the remainder of his 11 months and 29-day sentence in the Hawkins County Jail.
With Mr. Wells, he knows when he first came into the institution, he knows at any time he wants to talk to let their staff know, and I'll get to him as quick as I can.
But
Darzilla says, Don, your media manager is making posts about YouTubians, yet here you are. Yeah, like I've always said, just stay off. Just go away. See, like you add fuel to the fire. I don't need any more. I don't need any more. You play the same thing over and over that you want to talk about with me. Go ahead, over and over and over. I got pages and phone calls galore with you, Don. All kinds of stuff. That's a felony, isn't it, brother? It's a felony. Yeah, it is, dude. And you know, just one more felony, what that'll do. Morgan & Morgan, based in Fort Myers, Florida, now national 800 number firm. They won't take Don. Maybe they will. I mean, he'd have to have a good case, but he doesn't. Once again, let's hear this.
I have an update to the investigation into Summer Wells' disappearance.
The Hawkins County Sheriff says the child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating.
Yikes. I mean, that isn't good. Is that, let me ask you this, Tim. I tell you what, if I had a missing child and my kids heard the news and the sheriff say this about me, I'd be more pissed off about that than anything any YouTuber says. Listen up.
I have an update to the investigation into Summer Wells' disappearance.
The Hawkins County Sheriff says the child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating in this ongoing investigation.
And is the family still cooperating? I know you said, obviously, we know Don's there, but like the mother and all those other people, are they still cooperating?
No, they're not cooperating right now.
You should be mad about that. Where's your post about that? I would be devastated. I would be mad and angry about that statement, but not a word from you. Not a word from you on this. Why? Because you think that law enforcement is on your side? I can't believe the news would say anything like that. Let's go here. Torturous, unbridled imaginations about the Summer Wells case or unrelated family matters you have manipulated out of the vulnerable. MK Ultra says, love your show, Josh. Much love. Thank you. I appreciate that. Where'd you go, Don? Hold on. We got more to talk about if you want to come up. I mean, like I said, I'd prefer that you didn't, in all honesty. Like, and dead serious. Just because you won't say anything different and you'll just get mad at me and yell, and we've already done that. See, that's the thing too, Don. You know what really pisses you off is I don't need you here for people to come listen. So, see ya. Not only are you a sore, I thought it's a thorn. Is it a thorn? What is it? A thorn? I know. I think he does kind of like me. I think he does. Kelly S. Message me. I'm not sure. Well, okay, so it's a sore, like a bed sore or something. I'm not really sure. Is that what it is? Are they suspects or not? Well, I mean, they're not cooperating. Yeah, thorn in his ass. All right. So you're not you're only a sore in the side of law enforcement, but you are a shame to the United States of America's Constitution, Federal Republic, teaching citizens to spy on citizens, degrade citizens with vain imaginations, maybe imitations, using digital dictator torture techniques is not American. So not only are we a sore in the side of law enforcement, but we are no longer Americans. And by the way, Tim, this is how short-sighted you are. Not everybody that covers this case is American. So, you know, there is a world out there, right? I mean, there's a whole world other than just America. You know what I mean? I've heard a lot of other creators from the UK, I don't know. I had a caller from South Africa. And I know there's some in Australia, some in New Zealand. Anyway, it's not okay, whatever. My country, 'tis of the sweet land of liberty. And we thank you for your service, Tim, in either being in the Vietnam War. And if you really were, we thank you. If you were born in Vietnam, that's not that impressive either. But going to Vietnam is impressive. Let me see here. Who was it? Strawberry Kisses with a $3 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Sorry, I read ahead and all I can do is laugh at his ignorance. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Well, MK Ultra, I think, well, he does, but also so does, who else? It's really Tim that's saying this. But I agree. He doesn't speak for all Americans. You are helping create a monster that borders on treason as you degrade the value of U.S. law enforcement or try to redefine it. Golly. Really? There are social media rules that are local laws. There are federal, potentially destroying the mental health of her brothers. Once again, my problem with you on that, and thank you, Jesse, very much. Appreciate that. The whole thing with this whole hurting the children, I wasn't a part of anything that had anything to do with those children being taken. Listen to Pruitt again. I know you probably don't like to, but just please do.
In February, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson told News Channel 11 that the Wells family had lawyers and were no longer cooperating. The lead investigator for the case explained how that, as well as how her father's current stint in jail on unrelated charges, hasn't moved this case forward.
The family has attorneys involved, and that is not a direct line of communication.
That tone is quite the change from what it was last year when Summer was first reported missing.
It was pretty good. We would show up about every day, make sure that they were okay, and had a decent line of communication with them.
About a month later, in July, Child Protective Services removed her 3 older brothers from their home and appointed attorneys to the case.
They have been appointed for other instances, but it bleeds over into this investigation as well.
Summer Wells' father, Don, was arrested late last year for driving under the influence and violating probation.
Going off of that, obviously we know that Don Wells is incarcerated here. Does that play a role at all in this investigation?
No, ma'am.
On February 7th, a judge ordered him to serve the remainder of his 11 months and 29-day sentence in the Hawkins County Jail.
With Mr. Wells, he knows when he first came into the institution, he knows at any time he wants to talk to let their staff know, and I will get to him as quick as I can.
But how many times, Don, did you talk to the detective? How often? You could have had lunch with the guy every day and tried to help find Summer. There are so many things that you could have done, but now this is how you go about it. You're a desperate man in a desperate situation. I understand that. And Sammy, thank you so much. Linda, thank you as well. I appreciate you guys. You're between a rock and a hard place, and I get it. And it sucks. And you're running out of time. No, I'm not gonna solve this case. I don't have to. Law enforcement's doing fine. Believe that. And I support them. But Pruitt said that you could talk to him at any time. Remember, what Don said to me was that they don't give him information. They only ask him questions. That sounds a lot like a suspect to me. Like I said, I don't know what they did or didn't do. I have no idea. I've said that from the beginning. Tim. I'm Melissa. Thank you so much. And it's Melissa with 1 S, by the way, if you guys are wondering, which I was. It's Melissa with 1 S. We're done. Did he leave? That's fine. Okay. And do you have a clue if your channel's listeners are all stable? No, I don't know if all of them are. I think most of them are, yeah. But I don't know. How would I know that? Are your clients stable? How dare you insult my listeners? That will get you banned from Facebook. And to whomever, the day the FBI bows to you, and to whomever, the day the FBI bows to you and uses all your tools to help will be the day your tools might be very slightly considered. Bias is not a tool even remotely needed at this time. Well, that's what you're doing. You're biased. It was between you and Candace. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I'm not asking. I got dog food. I do. I have it. I promise you. And thank you so much. I got dog food. Yeah, we're all super stable. Janice says, Tim, you're not stable. That's from her. That's not from me, Tim. That's not. I would never say that to you. All right. Conclusion. Oh, thank God. Accusing or hinting someone of, he wants you to say it, but I'm not going to say it. Child, gets a channel removed from YouTube and your money feasts end. Oh, man. That would suck. Man. Immediately. I tell you what, I'd rather go down saying the truth than stay up kissing ass. I'll tell you that right now. I'll never apologize for anything that I said that I believe in. I'll tell you that right now. Do what you got to do, man. I'll find out another way. Guarantee it. Do what you got to do. Try what you got to try. I'm cool with it. I understand. I'm a sword in your side. I'll go down with the ship. If that's what needs to happen, I don't care that much. You know what I mean? Okay, so your YouTube money feast ends. Likewise, the FBI has your names. The following rules are clear. This isn't anger. This is truth. No, it's anger. It's anger. Very much so, anger. I don't know how old he is. Thank you, Lone Wolf. Tim would have to be way over 70 for a Vietnam vet. Is it true? Maybe. Uh-oh. Can't say that, but all right, I agree with that. He thinks that we're all going to prison. Subi Sue. He thinks that for some reason he thinks that we're all going to prison for doing what we do, which I don't understand either. I don't get that at all in any way, shape, or form. But it is anger. I'll say this again to anybody that's going to listen. When somebody else wrecks their family, which is something, by the way, that my father has done, Don. So, you know, he did. I mean, he gutted it. And he's paying the price for that. And he should. And I despise him for it. It's his fault. And I had to hear things about my dad growing up that I never wanted to hear. But guess what? Life doesn't work that way. You think that they don't know who their parents are? Life's not all sweet. We wish that it was, but it's not. I had to hear disturbing things. I didn't have a choice. And that wasn't my fault. Just like this isn't my fault. Or anybody else's on YouTube's fault. What do you do, Tim, when somebody says something that insults your intelligence? It's not our business. Whoever left me the comment that said, next time they say it's not your business, say this moment that they called 911 and an Amber Alert was issued nationwide, it became all of our business. It became all of our business. Yeah, this is fun. I enjoy this. Oh, yeah, it's a blast. I just know when a dad destroys a family, what that does to the kids. There's nothing more that I could do. Nothing more that I could do. And the way that you go about this, scolding us, scold them. They're the ones that are doing this. Tell them to stay offline. Don came into my chat tonight. Why? I don't know. He wanted to make it about me, not his missing daughter. Not me. Or you want to make it about me, not her. Write a post about that. Wrangle him in. He's the problem. She's the problem. Do you think that it is insulting to people when Candace wants to just hang out with, of course she's welcome to do that, but there's going to be negative reaction. Why? Because Summer is missing still. And you come at us with these threats saying that you're going to take our channels down, what the rules are. For somebody that claims to be so American, it seems like freedom of speech is only good if it's on your side. That's what I'm picking up. That's what I am understanding from you. If you want to say good things about the Wells, feel free. You want to question their timeline? How dare you? The boys are watching. It's one of those things that people have done. So a lot of, and I would say a lot of, but what happens a lot is there are kids who have kids and sort of, keep the kid from the grandparents. It's kind of like emotional. It's like an emotional hostage, like I'm not going to let you see the kids, because I'm mad at you. Like you said something to me and I didn't appreciate it. That's what it is. It's emotional manipulation. It's being an emotional terrorist. That's what you're doing. Candace was, I don't know if she was, but this person said she was wasted last night on another. It's possible. These two are not serious about getting the boys back. I don't think so either. It's very clear from his messages that he does not know nor understand the law. I don't think he does either. But that's what that is. Like the blame is on us. It's our fault that this situation is where it is. And it's just not. It's not. It's just not. I don't care if you agree with it or don't agree with it. Because it's just not true. And we got to just get through that. And by the way, Tim, you haven't been known to be the most honest lately either, especially writing posts that fit. Why do you do this? Why do you do this? I know why I do this. I don't like people that trash their families and gut their families and then just walk away from it. Listen to Pruitt. This isn't me.
In February, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson told News Channel 11 that the Wells family had lawyers and were no longer cooperating.
And by the way, other channels, you can say what you want, do what you want, report what you want. I'm going to do it my way. You can do it your way. Love them and bless them. You know what I mean? You don't have to agree with me. You can say whatever you want.
The lead investigator for the case,
I honestly, please do.
Explained how that, as well as how her father's current stint in jail on unrelated charges, hasn't moved this case forward.
A lot of unrelated charges surrounding what's really going on.
The family has attorneys involved, and that is not a direct line of communication.
That tone is quite the change from what it was last year when Summer was first reported missing.
It was pretty good. We would show up about every day, make sure that they were okay, and had a decent line of communication with them.
About a month later, in July, Child Protective Services removed her 3 older brothers from their home and appointed attorneys to the case.
They have been appointed for other instances, but it bleeds over into this investigation.
Okay, so they've been appointed for other instances. That to me tells me that they were taken for separate reasons. And yeah, that's terrible and that's tragic and that is very sad. But Child Protective Services doesn't just take your kids just because. McDonough the other day on this show said they're not in the business of adopting. They're not in the business of adopting. You know they're not. I know they're not. But it's everybody else's fault. First, it was CPS. Don't trust CPS. They're the ones that have done this. The adoptive parents. They're the ones that... Dawn's the one that has made it about the boys. I don't understand. Apparently, if what they say is true, all they have to do is what they're asked to do, and then that they get their kids back. But I don't believe that either. Of course, I don't have to. All this is deflection after deflection after deflection. Let's not talk about what we're really supposed to talk about. Let's talk about what I've done. Let's talk about what Chris has done. Let's talk about what CPS has done. Let's talk about anything else that will make you feel better about the situation. And by the way, we can't compare receipts, my friend. Like you get this little, it would be like this little ticket at the fair, and then yours is the CVS receipt. So don't even go there. It's a bad move. Like I said, you couldn't have came off looking any worse the other day than you did. When a professional from a credible agency that has some of the best retired minds, or not, some of them are very active as well in the game. You should be begging and pleading, and Tim, you should be encouraging them. Why? Because Chris showed up in your house with a camera and you said that he could, and then he played it and people had their own opinion of it? Frig off. Go ask Robin what she really thinks. Do it. I promise. She may not tell you the truth, but at some point there will be the truth. Does anybody remember that little video that she made right before Chris released a video of her? And she's like, I don't know what's going to be on there tonight, but I really do support the Wells. Is there something missing? There's something missing from there? I'm just asking for a friend. It sucks because I can just systematically break it down piece by piece. And none of it comes back looking good. None of it. MK's in the house. Thank you so much for that. It's very generous of you. Justice for Summer now. I do say frig off sometimes, yeah. But that's, because we don't say F's and stuff on here. I'm baffled. I'm baffled. What is it that Chris did to throw? Chris did not, by the way, he's not the one that told Jeannie or Mary to do anything. They had already done that. So that's a lie right there. Which we all knew. We all knew. Yeah, he's a good guy. First Amendment. Yeah. I know. What lie have I told? I am curious about that. What lie have I told? I mean, you just sit here and you go to the YouTubians who have channels that may end up being taken down. He told Trevor Lee, one of the nicest young men, one of the most level-headed young men, one of the most mature 21-year-olds I've ever had the pleasure of talking to. He told him that he was a suspect because he inserted himself in the case. Pot, meat, kettle. What? Say what? Really? Who inserted who in the case? Just like you tried to do it with Brandy, you scumbucket. You tried to... Why did you offer help to Brandy? You don't even live in the same state as her. What could you do? Instead, she took Chris's help, and look, the case is moving forward. Oh my God, it's weird how that works. You know what I mean? It's weird how that works. She forgoes, the media manager, and she goes for the homicide detective. Smart move, Brandy. Love you, Brandy. Love you, Tyler. Love you guys. Love your family. Justice for Michael. Little Michael Vaughn, Monkey Vaughn. Think about him every day. But good move on getting the help that you needed. Look, none of us, I was never convinced of anything in that case. All I knew is that they were reaching out for help. So you reach out to Brandy. She denies, and then she wants help from Chris and the Cold Case Foundation. And then the case starts moving forward. I mean, it's really funny how that works. It's funny how that works, man. Seriously, it really is. We haven't done anything that they haven't done a million times over and 10 times worse. It's a shame. It really is a shame. And I don't know if Robin, there's this rumor that's going around, and it is a rumor because I don't know this to be fact at all, that Robin has been helping the Wells with their house. And by the way, if that's true, that's between her and the Wells and God. But it is curious because she didn't really, she hadn't always been a Wells supporter. I'm just saying, she hasn't always been a Wells supporter. She may act like one. But I don't know if she's done that or not. Frankly, I don't care. And I don't care who Don and Candace are friends with. And I don't care who thinks that they're bridging the gap for them or standing in the gap for them. I don't care about that. I don't care about these people, those people. I got enough people to talk to in my life. I don't need that. I'm genuinely can't wait till the day when this case is completely over and there's a solution, a resolution, and hopefully it's Summer coming home alive and well. Although sometimes, most of the time, it's painfully obvious to me that I just can't get past the fact of if they knew that they could, then they already would have shown us Summer being alive. I'm okay. I want you to just take a look at this really quick. What you're looking at here is 110 Ben Hill Road. Okay. See all that? Can you see that? You're telling me that a stranger that has no idea where you live, never been there, stranger abduction, some stranger. Now, that's what we're saying here. You think that is a viable option? Sure, maybe. Probably not, though. I'm just saying. Look at that. You think somebody ran up on that hill? You think so? I don't. I don't think so. Whatever happened, the person who's responsible for this knows that house, knows that area, knows the family. I don't know if that's disputable, because there isn't somebody that's just walking down the road and go, you know what? I'm going to go try to abduct a child from on top of that hill. I don't see that. I've thought about it. It's just not. Angela says the different timelines prove it. Why would Ronnie Lawson say this?
An update to the investigation into Summer Wells' disappearance.
The Hawkins County Sheriff says the child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating.
I didn't say that.
In this ongoing investigation.
And is the family still cooperating? I know you said, obviously we know Don's there, but like the mother and all those other people, are they still cooperating?
No, they're not cooperating right now.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh my God, that was so long ago. Seems to ring true today. Seems to ring true today. Thank you, Diane. Not cooperating. That's true. I don't know. That's a great question. That is a great question. So are they cooperating now And at what point would you ever stop cooperating? Still not cooperating.
As well.
Summer Wells' father, Don, was arrested late last year for driving under the influence and violating probation.
Going off of that, obviously we know that Don Wells is incarcerated here. Does that play a role at all in this investigation?
No, ma'am.
On February 7th, a judge ordered him to serve the remainder of his 11 months and 29-day sentence in the Hawkins County Jail.
With Mr. Wells, he knows when he first came into the institution, he knows at any time he wants to talk to let their staff know, and I will get to him as quick as I can.
So I guess I would have a question there. Why, or have you, did you sit down with Pruitt while you were in there? And that's right, Miss Tammy. That's right, Miss Tammy. Brandy Neal says, listen at work, much love from our family to Josh and Lab Rats, Chris McDonough. Yeah, I mean, I can't see anyone going up on that hill to grab a child unless they were expected. That would seem, yeah. You wouldn't. That's right. You wouldn't even know it was there. You wouldn't even know it was there. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, my goodness. Well, I'll leave you with this. MK Ultra just going in tonight. Thank you so much. You're very generous. It's appreciated. It's not required at all. Wait. I'll be waiting, all right? Appreciate it. Let me just leave you with this, and then we'll get out of here.
I have an update to the investigation into Summer Wells' disappearance.
The Hawkins County Sheriff says the child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating in this ongoing investigation.
The family still
There is no investigation. This boy has
Not related to this to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her on the side and where
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has
not related to this to me.
Thank you guys so much for the super chats, the stickers, all the new members. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment. Thank you guys.
I've done my best. It's hard, it's real tough.
But I have to put her on the side and where with the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has
not related to this to me. But I have to put her boys. But I have to.
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put
Arkansas,
her.
welcome.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
Lab After Dark. Be there. What time is it? Got a little while. See you there.